Hello, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast, and I'm looking up the show notes. What did I call this? I need cuddles. Irongeek Cast 109. I need cuddles. Hello, everybody. How's things going? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek.
Hey, mute YouTube.
Oh wait. I gotta go finals. I got the channel. Shit. 109. I need cuddles.
We have done this 109 times and it never fails.
Yeah, but hey, don't give me shit. You people will constantly talk while I'm doing the intro.
That is also true.
Hey, whoa. What do you mean by you people?
You people. Shit.
Hey, I'm not a long-haired hippie. Come on.
All right. Welcome to Irongeek Cast 109. I need cuddles. How's everybody doing?
Caprico?
I am doing great.
Okay, just Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, just got done with my first physical engagement. Probably going to write a talk about it and put it out at SecKC and then submit it to DerbyCon because I feel like that is a pretty decent talk idea in my mind, but we'll see. I might also do more of my Docker research, but yeah, everything is good. Life is good. And yeah, I'm good.
Nice.
You look like you're chilled out at a hotel room someplace.
You do.
I am actually in the same time zone as you guys.
Oh yeah? What city?
Yeah. NDA. NDA.
What state?
I am currently in Ohio.
Oh, you jackass, really?
Yeah, I told you about this last week, man.
No, you told me about it like 3 weeks ago, saying it was going to be last week. You didn't say that you were coming here like this week, though.
I said in chat, I am in town. I am in the area. But
I missed that one. So how much longer? How much longer are you going to be here?
Tonight and then tomorrow morning, and then I fly back out to Kansas. Yeah.
Well, you suck.
Well, you should have read this stuff, and we talked about this on
Wayward son.
Anyway, other than missing me,
you are done.
You're missing me. How are you, Israel?
Well, real quick before we get to me, I do really like whenever you stay right there because you got little antennae coming out of your head. It's, from the bed. It is a really good look for you. Next, you should try getting the foil hat and throwing that on. I'd like it.
There's tinfoil in the lobby. I could go get some.
Why is there tinfoil in the lobby?
I
mean, I have to. I've never seen tinfoil in a hotel lobby, so.
This is a weird place. I'll just
okay.
Yeah,
we need some Charles in on this shit. So someone to add some, happiness to the cast.
Hey, Nate's trying to add. Caprico's trying to add some happiness here. So
okay, point taken. Taken.
Okay, let's see my week. Decent. I am currently the only driver in the house. Thank you, USCIS, because you take for freaking ever to send an acknowledgement letter for immigrants.
Wait, your wife, because she's an immigrant, she can't drive?
Currently, yes. Because after she has been here for 2 years, you have to file an I-751. More money, obviously. Boatload of paperwork to prove that you have that you're in a valid marriage. That you're not just marrying somebody, get them here.
What side of the road do the Filipinos drive on?
It's usually below or over, like way over. They're kind of all over the place. So I taught her how to drive once she got here.
Okay.
Yes. Filipinos do drive, and I'm not going to knock every Filipino out there, but
I'm sure if it's on the right side of the road or the left side of the road.
It is the right side.
Yeah, but the only countries that go on the right side are Australia, the UK, and I think India doesn't.
India does not. There is no such thing as a lane in India. It's if you see a spot, you go immediately to it.
Right. Yeah.
If you see a person, hopefully they duck. But yeah, so the way Ohio works, not all states do this, but whenever your green card expires, Ohio expires your driver's license at the same time as your green card. And so we're currently waiting for her extension to come in, which should have been here about a month and a half ago and didn't make it because they had processing errors. And apparently, Nebraska processing did not send out extension letters for anyone for about a month. And did not, and like don't have any type of process in place that, oh, if our systems are down, okay, well, we have all these to go back and process and send out. It's amazing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's nuts. So yes, I'm the solo driver, which means I'm grounded, not traveling any until we get that all resolved and my wife can start driving again. And two, we're going to get the, the certified license, whatever they're calling that now, so she can fly and do all that stuff too. Once we do have that one piece of paper.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And I think that takes effect. Does anybody know for sure when that actually takes effect? When you have to have the upgraded license with the star on it to be able to fly domestically?
Is that just something for immigrants, or is that something for
that's going to be everyone? If you don't have that.
Honestly, I would just go with getting a passport. I've just been flying with my passport since I got it, and I haven't had any issues, and a passport is super easy to get.
Yep.
It's a little time consuming, but I mean, it's something that everyone, I think, should have at least, because to go from point A to point B, that is an actual, like, your driver's license technically is not a valid form of identification. I don't remember where I read this or heard this, but it's just like when a cop, technically, and it's not enforced, it is not a document of identification like your birth certificate or your social security number. It is kind of like a faux ID.
Or a social security number that I bought, or social security card that I bought, right?
Oh, you could pull that route, but then I'll pull some OSINT on whoever. Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Yes, you may, but most won't.
Most will not. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely would say get a passport. And if she already has a passport, which I'm assuming she does, I would say get that all sorted out. I'm not sure how it would work because when you're marrying in to or a citizen of the United States, are you eligible at that point to get a U.S. passport? I'm not.
No, you can't get a U.S. passport until you're a citizen. And her earliest time to become a citizen is next February, I believe. So essentially 2 years and 11 months after you get your green card.
So your son is a citizen because you're his dad, and but she's not a citizen yet.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I have a different buddy. He's also married to a lady from
Philippines.
And but he is not the biological father of the child, so there's some extra steps that they're going through.
Oh, well, yeah, I know him too. Yes, they have a lot of extra steps, and there was a lot of other circumstances surrounding their ordeal.
By the way, Vice magazine suck a dick.
Yes. Wait, did they do something new?
No, nothing new.
Okay.
Vice magazine in general can suck a dick.
Yeah. Where the hell did they come from? 5 years ago, they were nothing, and I'm watching television the other day, and there's like advertisements for Vice. Like, what? Why?
Actually, they used to produce some really good content. Vice
Yeah,
yeah.
used to, and now whenever they produce crap, they're making enough money to get airtime commercials. Really? Kind of amazing.
No comment.
Welcome to the world of media journalism.
Well, see, the thing is, there's so little money in it anymore. You have to do clickbait. The only way you can make money is clickbait.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you go even like
I'm
look
not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's the Capricorn. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the way it is. I mean, you go to any like major news, like say newspaper, so like New York Times or Chicago Tribune or I don't know whatever major newspapers, and you just got crap at the bottom of every article they ever publish. I mean, it is straight clickbait crap.
Yeah, I mean,
hardly ever do you find one where it's just like news. Oh, relevant story, at the bottom. Like it's some woman out on the beach and hey, try to click this.
Well, and even like on TV, I mean, that's been the go-to since the news, since probably about the 80s, where everything is kind of just whatever new is happening and whatever people are talking about. We have to talk about it right now. It's populist news.
I love you, Caprico, but come on, like you remember the 80s.
No.
I love you, man, but no.
Yeah, hey, Cappy. I mean, the 80s. That was 20 years before you.
Talk about 6.
Yes,
was
20.
the tail end of it. So 16 if you're going all the way back to 1980.
I was born in 74, so I can remember the 80s. I remember talking to some friends. I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember watching Star Wars in the theater," and they're like, "How old are you, Adrian?" I'm like, "Shit."
I remember watching Star Wars in the theater, but it was also the re-release back in like 99 or something like that, 98, 99.
See, apparently I cried because Darth Vader scared me. We're talking about 77. We're talking about like 77. Me and my brother Bedford. Yeah, I was hanging out with this last weekend. Me and him drove up to Columbus together and hung out.
Nice.
Should have came down here earlier.
Yeah, did you end up? So did you go to B-Sides Columbus?
Yes, I recorded B-Sides Columbus.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to train everybody.
Yeah.
We had a lot of video fails.
Yeah.
But we tried to get as much content up as we could.
Okay, cool. I unfortunately could not make it. I was last minute going to, and all of a sudden, like one day they still had tickets, the next day not. So
yeah, me and my brother went, and I don't know. The first day we were up there, we got showed up the day before. There was some sausage place, some German
Schmitz.
buffet. Some German buffet. My brother took me to.
Yeah, Schmitz Deli.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Oh, it was good.
It's the only sausage place that anybody will ever go to in Columbus. It is the best.
It was good shit. It was good shit. And no complaints.
Yeah, like there's times where they have a line going out the door a block long. I mean,
the place was pretty full when me and my bro were there.
Yeah, like they are awesome. 100%. 2020.
Cool.
And Johnny Turbo says, "Yep, delicious." I totally agree.
Awesome.
Just like Caprico, he's delicious.
Is that what he said in chat?
He did not say you were delicious, but he did on YouTube say, "Yep, delicious."
Okay.
I have no complaints about the place. So next time I probably will skip the buffet and maybe go with something that has. I like what is that? Spidle. There's some kind of pasta that is German pasta. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, I know what you're. I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Spetzel.
Yes, I love that stuff. It's
potato noodles.
Uh-oh. we got Adrian's brother showing up on YouTube.
Wait, Bevan's wait.
Yep.
Bevan's in the chat.
Yep. He said their strawberry cream puff was the bomb. Dude, their cream puffs and are phenomenal.
Yeah,
but they're also like freaking huge.
You went by some Asian bakery and brought me something called a sausage puff or sausage. It had some kind of pork filling.
Yeah.
But it was breaded, but it had a pork filling. I don't know what the hell Bedford called it. He brought it to me after the con.
Nice.
Cool.
So that was held at the police academy, was it?
Yes, it was held at the police academy.
Where was that? Is that like downtown Columbus area?
I think it's up in the Dublin area.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, Eric said, I can't even pronounce that. Bierocs. I would butcher that.
I don't know what that is, man.
Yeah. I speak redneck English.
Some kind of pork, a pork roll. There's some kind of Asian dish. It was good. I waited until I get home to I totally cooked and ate it.
Yeah, your brother said it was from Ikebon Bakery. Did you guys ever watch Friends back in the day?
Yes, back in the day, yes it is.
Yeah, remember the one where Joey did the lipstick commercial that only aired in Japan like 2 times or something?
Yeah.
Spicy pork bun is what my brother said the thing was.
Yeah, and that lipstick brand was called Ikebon.
Ikebon.
Yeah, and they made a bakery apparently. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, Bedford?
Yeah.
We need to go by that. What was it? Bubba's 33 Burgers. You need to pick me up and maybe we can go eat some hamburgers there. Anyway, sorry. Side topic.
Just making plans with little bro on the podcast. Let's go.
Well, actually, he's big bro. He's actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought that was big bro.
But Bedford's a little older than I am.
My apologies.
I'm the baby brother.
Yeah. So Caprico. I mean, you're like what, 10, 11 now. So yeah, Bedford's probably like at least 30 years older than you.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh man, it's like, not to dox my brother, but March 1st, 72.
Okay, and you said you're what, 74?
74.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
See, that's a good range. 2 years for brothers or siblings in general.
Yeah, people used to mistake me and my brother for like twins because we were close enough in age. But yeah, we're not twins.
But since we also have them on the line, kind of right now, you're the better looking one, right?
Obviously, of course. Yeah, you'll see some rude comments from Bedford in the comments shortly. Come on.
Not seeing comments yet. I know you want to reply to that one.
He's just waiting just to be. He's like, oh, let's go. He's like,
oh, wait, he just said he's looking forward to cuddling with you. I'm joking. He didn't. Okay, we have a dark owl who says he's delicious. Bedford said, everyone knows penguins are cuter than werecoons. Nice.
It goes back to our mama.
Yeah,
I used to do sewing, and she made a bright heart. Wait, no shit. What is the Care Bear cousins? There was a Care Bear cousin that is a penguin, Cozy Heart, and she made Cozy Heart for Bedford, which is a penguin.
Yeah,
and she made Bright Heart raccoon for me. So that's where the whole raccoon penguin thing comes from.
Nice. I like it.
So that's also why my logo, to a degree, for Irongeek.com is a penguin with the wild tufts of yellow hair, because that's a rock hopper penguin.
Oh, okay.
That's where that all originated because my brother loved penguins, and as far as Irongeek was concerned, I was like, well, let's go with something Linux based. Let's go with a punk rock penguin, and the punk rock penguin would be a rock hopper penguin.
There you go.
And there you go.
That works.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, do you think we should get into the show notes?
Let's actually do some show notes. Yes, let's actually get into the content.
Yes, let's actually hit some content. So first up, the breach report. We don't have Charles to do the impressive one, but breach report. So first up, we have Rush University Medical Center has suffered a data breach. They are located out of where'd it go? Chicago. And yeah, we've been seeing a lot of this, honestly, lately with universities that have hospitals, because a lot of the larger scale universities have hospitals.
Yep.
And research facilities. So this one affected 45,000 patients. It included personal identifiable information, name, address, birthday, social security numbers, health insurance information. So
basically full HIPAA violation, and now they're going to be slapped with a giant fine.
Yeah. But we talk about this every freaking week. There is almost always a hospital every freaking week.
Oh, yeah.
Does HIPAA fine enough? Or to rephrase it, is the current HIPAA fines high enough?
I don't think it's the HIPAA fine. Like,
it seemed like for the longest time, HIPAA, it didn't have any fucking fines, and then they started to enforce shit. I'm still waiting for anything to be enforced on oh crap, what is the educational
that one I never remember. That's your ballpark.
FERPA.
FERPA never gets anything. FERPA is never enforced. But HIPAA, at least finally you see some shit happening to people.
Yeah, and I mean, like back in the day I had to deal with HIPAA. But too, I hated dealing with HIPAA. From a security perspective, they were good. Or decent, because they were always updating, always changing. But from a compliance perspective, that also sucked, because it meant, it seemed like, and especially once they went to not cyber HIPAA, like whatever it was called, but it was essentially the transition from straight HIPAA over to like computer based HIPAA high tech. That's what it was. And so HIPAA high tech started addressing more of the computer related items, because HIPAA was around before computers were really a thing within medical establishments.
Yeah, it was first established in 96.
Yeah. And so you had HIPAA high tech start kicking in. And once HIPAA high tech started rolling, good night. It was like every freaking month they were changing, updating something new. And from a endpoint perspective, as the person who has to get everything up and compliant, if you weren't already compliant, holy crap, like it was a monthly thing.
Yeah, I signed up for HIPAA alerts during when I was in my development role, because we were considering putting real patient information into our student application that was going to be used as a teaching tool for nurses. But I immediately shut that idea down as I signed up for stuff, and I was looking at all the things that we would have to keep track of. One, we didn't have the manpower to do it. Two, we didn't have the expertise to do it. Three, we didn't have the budget to do it. it was an all around thing. But
yeah, to take live info, but did you still? Now, what type of information outside of name? I mean, because like, could you have scrubbed it, or did you scrub it? Like, if you were able to move it on, like, did you scrub the name so it was something, whatever? But
so our initial idea was to have fake scenarios for students to run through.
yeah,
And those fake scenarios had fake patients that were completely made up. There was no information, but they were to simulate an actual real life scenario or real medical scenario. Say a lot of it was focused around when I was working with them on birthing or on like
birthing.
No, on
Stop picking your nose.
I'm not picking my nose. And I had a mustache hair that was itching my nose. Shoot.
HIPAA. Birthing.
Yeah.
Compliant.
No, I'm trying to remember the name. That like the technical term escapes me, but basically they had a lot of scenarios that would go through nurses helping patients deliver babies.
Yeah.
And then, so a lot of it focused around that, and a lot of it focused around sick kids that were in the hospital with them, and also while the mother is giving birth to a child and stuff like that, and also dealing with just pediatrics.
Okay.
And even dealing with mental. Mentally ill patients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was stuff like that. But when I was looking at it, when I signed up for it, weekly, I would get a full summary of all the changes that have happened to HIPAA within the past week.
Yeah.
And sometimes twice in 1 week, I would get something like that.
Yep.
And it was just it was almost insane at one point to just be like, okay, this is a little nuts. But
yeah. I mean and they come from a good place.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because compliance is essentially the bottom of the barrel, which we've talked about multiple times. But you know, my experience with HIPAA, like direct experience, was more clinical side. You know, doctor-patient types of stuff where I was consulting, blah, blah, blah. But, and yours sounds like it was more potentially hospital side. Is that right?
Yeah, we kind of were simulating a hospital. We were making a electronic health record. So we would, if we were to use actual patient information, it would be that any information that we were storing needed to be like encrypted, and any transmission of that data needed to be fully encrypted and encrypted in the best way possible. Probably almost close to FIPS 140 compliant, and as well, which I know is FIPS 140 is part of the PCI compliance, or PCI. Is it DSS or CSS?
I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever. I'm doing the pen test plus right now, so I got or studying for it. So I've been getting all the acronyms.
It's about time.
Getting all the acronyms or doing the cert?
The cert.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. My thing though is that I don't think the fines are going to be the main issue moving forward. It's how do you address those certain things, and also when you're going for your compliance, what check boxes are you making, and also are those check boxes enough? Because right now, I mean, like you said, we talk about one of these almost every week.
Yeah.
Something is getting missed, so let's see what's getting missed. How do we create compliance for that?
But at the business level, though, what brings on the urgency to actually do that And that's why I'm saying, I don't think the fines are enough most of the time.
Right.
If you look at GDPR
Yeah, that makes sense.
or GDPR, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they say, okay, so whatever, like, what is it, 10, 15, 20, whatever percent of your yearly revenue is, like, that's what the fine could potentially be up to.
Yeah.
I mean, for hospitals who are breaking in, multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and you say, okay, so 20%, and um, Johnny Turbo threw this in there. HIPAA fine should be set at a level above what hiring a full-time staff of good guys costs. Otherwise, just a budgeted slap on the wrist. And I totally agree. That's where they currently are. I mean, even if a HIPAA fine is $100,000, for most hospitals that are like this, who have, say, and hospitals go by bed count, but if they're a 200 plus bed count hospital, a couple $100,000 is nothing to them.
Yeah, and even with like Mayo Clinic, most of the Mayo Hospital that's up at U of M, which is largely affiliated with the University of Minnesota, they bring in a lot of money via research. So and that money is paramount to close to the revenue of. I think Mayo Clinic is one of the Fortune 500 right now, or at least they're close enough. So that'll give you an idea of how much money they're actually making.
Yeah.
I do agree with the fines not being enough. But yeah, if we were to move to that kind of style, kind of mentality, yeah, bumping up both. I think taking both of our ideas that we have and bumping both you need to be compliant or how you need to be compliant, like how much, like what do you need to have, and then on top of that, increasing the fines so that hospitals can't just say, "Oh, we're compliant, therefore we are secure." I mean, no, like we have to constantly be working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my other thought that I just had, haven't been dwelling on this, so not fully like debbed out. Where the fines actually go, they go just straight back to the government. If the fines, the government takes 20% or 30%, whatever, like base it on kind of like tax. But the remainder of the fine, let's say they were to distribute that, by bed count or whatever to other organizations to increase their, defenses. Yeah, if they were to raise the fines, because first off, I'm not a big fan of government intervention, obviously, and fining people. But if large scale organizations are getting fined, okay, so if somebody's hit, they're fined, that money comes in, let's distribute, not socialism, but let's move the money from the fine back over to those who need to help, kind of like grants or whatever to help them increase their stuff.
Right. It's not so much a redistribution. It's more of this is a pay for the damages due to our negligence or to this security incident, so that if something like this were to happen, like if anything comes from it, there's going to be some sort of compensation. That's what I meant. Compensation for what happened and how and their information being stolen then.
That's right. Okay, real quick. Hey, Jason. Hello. Jason Daniel Stone. Jack, so which balance sheet do they use? That's hard to say because, yes, a lot do have different balance sheets. But for publicly traded companies, if a secondary balance sheet is found, they will be so persecuted it's not even funny.
That is not good.
Agreed.
Shit. When's Jack get back from Germany? Because I know he's
Last Friday.
Shit. He's promised me an ass whooping.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that too. We think it's going to be rumble in the Bronx.
And for various reasons, I can't even fight back. So I'm an ass whooping from Jack. This is going to suck.
Yeah, he's just going to tie you up against a pole and have at it. Oh, and I told him to bring the wooden baseball bat. I hope you're happy about that. He was saying he was going to bring the aluminum one.
No evil slugger upside Aiden's head, please.
Hey, I talked him down from the the aluminum baseball bat.
Shit.
Yeah. Actually, that's something I haven't looked into.
I'm gonna stay inside. I think I'll just not leave my house for like a month. So Jack can kick my ass.
A-Boss said, "Whoa, some BDSM." Hey, it's Adrian. You never know.
We don't know what kind of ass whooping this is. Whatever. All right.
Wait. Maybe I'm safe. Jack said something about Jessica talked him out of it.
That's right. The rabbit, Jessica Rabbit. Yes.
Jessica Rabbit.
Maybe my ass won't get kicked because Jack can. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. What else do we got on the breach report?
Okay. I only have one other item on the breach report this week. Not a lot of breaches, not a lot of leaks. But hopefully every one of you who's listening has heard about this. Data leak exposes Dow Jones watch list database. This one was interesting. It included the identities of government officials, politicians, and people of political interest. And Dow Jones was using it to identify risk about them and about companies.
Ooh.
Yeah. Whenever they were researching someone.
Is that it? Okay.
And I do want to preface, I have not seen the leak yet. I haven't found it. I hope to within next week, but I have not seen it yet. So I am highly looking forward to it, though.
So
very, very much so.
My thought. Okay, so I have 2 points. One, is it legal for them to have that kind of list?
Yeah. I mean, they created it internally for internal use.
Okay. To what kind of information and how is there and how because I've never heard of this, and hold on, I gotta sneeze real quick.
Yeah, nobody else has ever heard of this. The bigger question, once you're done with your sneeze, is how are they going to be seen from a ethical standpoint?
Yeah,
in regard to it. Because legality, any public information, that they gain, which, from what I understand, it was all publicly disclosed information. Somebody threw up tweets, cursing at Adrian because he was whatever, and that's included, or talking about Caprico and how much he's a hippie and he has a millennial beard down to his belly,
Not that long.
But it's publicly available information, from what I understand, that was on the list. It wasn't confidential in any nature. So from a legality standpoint, it was okay. But from an ethical standpoint, that's where I think the people will probably have the bigger issue.
Yeah,
or have had.
Yeah, that's kind of where I brought up the legality point, because I'm like, is it even legal for them to do this? But that's more of an ethics question for sure. Man, like, I get being on top of things and wanting to see and make the most money and seeing risk, and especially when you want to short especially when, like, my immediate thought would be like, oh, like XYZ CEO is on our watch list now, I'm going to buy up a bunch of shorts here because I don't see him getting out of this, and neither does anyone else. So the short one of their stocks, when their stocks go down, I get a short back, and my profits go through the freaking roof.
Yes, and I totally agree.
Is that ethical?
For them, they like, in my opinion, and this is me, from a investment perspective, yes. Okay. Because if I'm going to buy into a company, or I'm going to buy into a mutual fund, or, I'm going to buy into anything, I want to know who's running it, who are the people controlling and making the decisions. And, if there's some unhinged person now, either who is the decision maker or influencing the decision maker, like exactly what they did, their risk score, like I'm not necessarily gonna place as much if, especially like on a buy, if on the company going up, if they are demonstrative on Twitter, or bashing everyone and their mom, like that's going to be a risky investment from my perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And so that makes sense from a business aspect.
Yeah.
I agree that makes sense, but on the ethics side of things, that's kind of one. Now that this is public, you've now pretty much inadvertently tarnished a bunch of people just for whatever reason they're on that list. And also, what are their categories for putting people on that list? I mean, I haven't looked into it enough to know exactly.
Yeah, and see, that's why I'm looking forward to getting a hold of that list, because what I'm guessing is you will see a lot of CEOs, a lot of CFOs, stuff like that on lists. Right. And, if these CEOs aren't on Twitter, aren't on Facebook, they're probably going to have a low risk score, because they're not going to, the risk of them like throwing things out there nonchalant is very, very low, that, stockholders and potential investors are going to seize upon. That's a low risk. But those that are on Twitter and Facebook, they have a little bit higher risk score just because they're there, or, Instagram and wherever else, you have a CEO posting nude pics. Yeah, really? I'm not saying that happened, but, that's going to then start weighing up the risk. If they are consistently controversial with individuals on these different platforms, if they're on what's Reddit, if they're known to be on Reddit and they're controversial, I'm definitely going to score a higher risk on them.
Yeah, so, I get that as well.
Yeah.
Did any of y'all watch the Joe Rogan podcast where they had the people? They had Tim Pool on, plus two people from Twitter, Jack and some lady from the
Jill. Was it Jill? Jack and Jill?
I don't remember the lady's name, but she's part of the safety committee or something.
Not the safety committee of the podcast, was it?
It was its own thing.
I did not see that one.
Oh shit. It's interesting shit. Twitter is a shit show of drama.
Trigger.
Never mind. Continue.
I have multiple items that have triggers.
Oh, you want to talk about triggers?
Hey, I'm fine talking about triggers.
You see my gun collection, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Shit. My uncle, he left me the most well-armed person in the fucking southern Indiana. Shit.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about it. I sold a lot of it, but I can't keep it all.
Yeah, but eventually, you'll want to shoot and validate that they work.
I need to find. I need to find my own good range. I need to get a good membership at some conservation club around here.
Yeah.
So I can
Now,
practice because I am not a good marksman. I have guns galore, but I am not a good marksman.
yeah.
That said, I have the ammo to make up for it.
Hey, at that point,
rounds,
it all depends
hit
on
you
how
too.
fast you reload.
But you will die.
Well, I mean, too, though, if they have 40 bangs available in one go and you only have 5, and then you have to reload another 5 and then another 5, they may get you in those 40.
True. And
So,
we also discussed with my brother because I need to explain to him he doesn't understand what rounds his gun take. I gave him one of my uncle's guns.
yeah.
I gave him it's a working man's Colt Python. It's a Trooper 3.
Yeah.
A Colt Python, a Colt Trooper 3.
And
it is
is that a
working revolver? It's
Yeah.
a fine gun.
Yeah.
It's not as fine as like the Colt Python, but
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it. It is, like I said, the working man's Colt Python.
Yeah. What caliber?
It's 357.
Oh, okay.
38 special.
Oh, okay. It's
I
38
need to make
special.
sure my brother knows what rounds to put in it.
Yeah.
And I need to get
The cheapest, well, almost the cheapest available to man.
Yeah, it is a fine, no bullshit. If you need to kill somebody who's invading your house,
pick it up and go bang.
It's a no bullshit gun. It is a respectable firearm.
Yeah.
But I need to take my brother out to the range so he can learn to shoot it right.
That's right. Learn how to shoot. It'd probably be good too. Like here, I don't think it's the same where you're at, but here in Ohio, you have to do the NRA basic pistol course, basic shooter course, whatever it's called, to be able to get your carry and conceal. That is a very, I mean, if you have somebody who has, even if you don't want to carry and conceal, but if you have somebody who's never picked up a weapon, anything, it is a good course to take. Honestly, a lot of the NRA courses are really good. And 2, it depends on the instructors. But, sorry, I was reading YouTube. So, depends on the instructors, but they are very good courses. Get you a basic understanding of the weapon, bullets in general, and just kind of ride you through the whole course. And then there's also shooting involved. So you get to shoot, you do all the stuff, and it's instructor led, and yeah.
Yeah, I need to give a brother to the range. I kept my uncle's Python because, well,
it's a Python.
It's a beautiful gun, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful. But I gave my brother the serviceman edition version of it, the Trooper 3.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that thing. That 357 also shoots 38. I gotta make sure my brother knows what ammo, and I gave him like a box of 50 rounds. Yeah, it's a very nice gun.
Now, does your brother live out where he could shoot out his back door, or does he live in it?
He lives in a city limits. He lives in a suburb of Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Can't do that.
Oh, sure he can. It's Kentucky.
No.
You can shoot anything at any time.
He lives inside the river. My brother cannot shoot out his backyard. I'm sure the people back in the projects, back behind his house, would not like that. My brother, nice. My brother can't do that. I gotta take my brother out to the range at some point in time.
Yes. Definitely get him out. If you find, honestly, I remember, Hackers on a Farm last year.
Oh yeah,
that range we went to. if you can find something like that, oh my gosh, that was nice. Just open air, close and far targets.
I love
And
taking Liz out there also to shoot, man. That
yeah.
was fun. I love Liz. Liz, though, is such a city boy.
Yes.
Taking them out to shoot Tannerite, that was awesome.
Yep, that was cool.
I was like,
100%.
Which gun do you want to shoot? I got an AK-47 here. I got an AR-15.
Yep.
What do you want to shoot, my friend? And
Yep.
Yeah, we blew the shit out of some crap. It was lovely.
Yep. Yeah, that was definitely fun. And I'm hoping I can make it at least for shooting this year, because I'm guessing we're still going to shoot at some point. I don't know if we'll be down for everything, but at very minimum, I plan to come down to shoot.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is my hope. Mary cannot choose the marching orders. And as far as camping, no.
Yeah, because from what I've heard, it's going to be like 4th of July. So we are disposed for 4th of July. But if there is shooting, it's hour and a half from where I am on the 4th of July. So I'll be there.
Cool.
For shooting.
And I'll bring my guns. And I have a lot of guns.
Yeah, I might be indisposed going back up to see family, but I'll see if I can make it out.
You are always indisposed. Come on.
I'm a busy dude.
I got guns.
Guns.
I have so many guns, Caprico. The guns call you.
Yeah, if we get
what kind of gun do you want, man? What do you want? If you want a muzzle loader, I got a 50 caliber muzzle loader.
My uncle does deer hunting with that, or with his.
Yeah, I'm sorry for any muzzle loading loving people out there. I am not a muzzle loving.
I only kept one. My uncle, because they're too much work.
They really are.
But I kept one of my uncles because it's a beautiful flintlock. Oh man,
yeah,
it's so pretty. It's
and some are gorgeous. Like I would potentially own one in the future that was more like a mantle piece.
Yes. That's what I plan on doing with my uncle's gun. I gave one to his church buddy who loved my uncle.
Yeah,
he passed away, and my uncle he had a buddy at church. I gave one to him, but my uncle's prettiest rifle I kept. It's a big ass 50 caliber flintlock, and it's beautiful.
I bet. I mean, I think my AR-15 is beautiful too, but
yeah. There's a different level of like some of the old flintlocks, though. They put a certain amount of artistic talent into making them. I mean, I need to show you this flintlock if you ever by my house. My uncle's old flintlock. Oh, this thing's beautiful.
Yeah. Is there like any scrimshaw work on it or anything, or
shit like that? And some weird like flint lock where you push a button and you get the patches out, and the flint lock is like it's very, and the wood polish, and it's, I don't know how to describe it. I have to show it. My uncle's old 50 caliber flintlock rifle is just beautiful.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I mean, because I have nothing against, and nobody come back on me, nothing against muzzle loaders. Like, I think they're nice. I think they're cool, but we're not, as a country, in a place where I need one.
Sometimes you just want to drop a motherfucker. And 50 caliber,
it will do that.
What's the load?
But I also have some other things that will do that too at a much longer range.
Or at least shorter time to load. Shit.
Yes, and reload.
My uncle's 50 caliber. So if I have to drop a bear, I will try to load up this my uncle's 50 caliber.
My 308 will take out a bear.
I would take my uncle's 44 Magnum, load it up, and shoot the thing 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle's muzzleloader is a beautiful piece of art. I mean, it was obviously crafted to be a beautiful piece of firearm artwork.
Now, does it? My brother is big into muzzleloaders, loves them. Like, I mean, he still has a lot of, or not a lot, but he has other stuff, more modern stuff. But does your uncle's 50 have a round barrel or a hex barrel?
I think it's a hex barrel. It's
okay.
definitely rifled.
Yeah.
It's a serious fucking firearm. I mean, it's meant.
I mean, they are
shooting.
Like, people look at them like, oh, you throw that up next to an AR-15, and most people are gonna be like, oh, I want the AR-15, obviously. But in regard to if it's rifled,
yeah, it's not a musket. It is indeed a rifle.
Yeah, if it's rifled, I mean, you're gonna shoot the thing freaking straight, and good night. It's a 50 cal. God, oh my gosh. Oh no, you wouldn't necessarily be able to, because it shoots a ball around, right?
Shit, I remember seeing my uncle cast the rounds. Oh, my uncle used to cast his own bullet.
Yeah, but the bullets are rounded, right? Though they're
not always. Some
not always.
They're not ball. They're not like balls. They kind of look like if a 9mm round was as big as a 50 caliber, and it was just the bullet itself.
Okay.
Within a plastic.
Yeah. So it's still.
This is from, and I'm not completely sure on this. This is just from what I remember from when my great uncle was showing me his 50 cal muzzle loader.
Yeah.
It's like a little green, like, cap on the bottom. That's a flat base that gets pushed onto the gunpowder and the to
make sure that it seals and you have proper expansion.
Right. Yeah, and then it's like a little like bullet. Just the bullet is on top of that little piece there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not like old style like round musket balls. It's like a full like rifle round.
Yeah.
That you were shooting out of that.
Which means, and that's why I was asking, because that means that you can make the hollow point, and it's a freaking 50 cal, which means that you could blossom that thing out.
Yeah.
I mean, not like 3 inches like my hands just showed, but you could blossom that thing out. Man, can you imagine that with the hollow point?
That exit wound is gonna be huge.
There may not even be an exit wound. That may just launch inside of you and bing, 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 bing inside.
Nah, a 50 cal, dude, that's still gonna get an exit wound even when it's a hollow point.
Yeah, probably.
That thing is, one, it's a muzzleloader. That's gonna be moving super quick.
Yeah.
Two, it's 50 cal.
Turn on the lights here to show you my uncle's muzzleloader.
Please, you've been like getting us all excited about it for the last 20 minutes.
This is my uncle's muzzleloader. All right, that's a sword. This is my uncle's muzzleloader. Look at the beautiful wood finish. It's a flintlock. Shit, I can't operate the thing without screwing things up properly. Let me see. All right, it's a flintlock.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's got the double on it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, is it loaded?
Right here.
Got squibbloed in.
You really can't see it with the lighting I have right now. It is a beautiful freaking rifle.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, it hasn't been loaded since my uncle passed away in 2017. But eventually that's going to go over some mental place.
Yeah.
I love my uncle, and
one thing you can do is try to find somebody local, but do a X-ray on it to validate that there's no hairline fractures in the barrel and the receiver at all.
And there's a different one that had Ed Rusk written on it. And I gave that one to one of his church buddies. But that was the prettiest as far as the wood pattern, and like I said, the camera didn't do it justice.
Yeah,
but it is a beautiful fucking rifle.
Nice.
All right, we've gone on a little bit of a tangent here. Let's get back into the show notes here.
Wait, flintlocks or tangent?
Hey, guns, Cappy, are never a tangent.
Right.
Let's get back onto the show notes.
All right, so we've got vulnerability. So thankfully, I've been skimping out for the last month or two here on vulnerabilities. Thankfully, Israel has brought up a couple of things, and I had to look at them just before the show. So quick overview of vulnerable stuff that needs to get patched and updated as soon as possible. Quick overview of what we're going to be looking at today. We've got a Chrome 0 day that was released, I think, a couple days ago or yesterday or today, one of those three. We've got Adobe Reader has a potential leak. They have a second patch release. And Cisco Soho routers are vulnerable and being exploited in the wild.
Yep.
So first off, we've got the Chrome 0 day, and I'm just going to take a second to pull that up on my phone. So sorry if I am a little disorganized today, but I am also traveling. So with this Chrome 0 day, essentially it's a remote code execution through the application itself via the file reader feature that is within Chrome. Now, there's not a whole lot of details currently on how it is actually being done. We don't have proof of concept out. Google is probably going to keep this on the down low until they have a patch out for it, and then we'll get the proof of concept for it. So if you do,
they already have a patch for it. They just say
they do. Yes, that's why I threw under patch.
Yeah.
If you patch to the most current version of Chrome, you're good. But
okay.
Yeah, it's essential. But who normally is patched to the most current version of Chrome? Next to nobody.
By default, I thought Chrome is supposed to update automatically.
Not always.
Not always. You can enterprise-wise control that, as well as like Mac, and I'd have to look on my Linux side. Essentially, if you're non-domain, you control that, or you can control that. So,
okay,
yeah,
cool. So since I haven't found any POC code, the way that I think that this is probably being exploited and was shown to Google in the 0 day exploit is they're probably using a malicious website. A attacker would have that running, and then trick a person to going to that website. It runs some sort of JavaScript code that then puts a payload onto their system, either with shellcode on it that then calls back out to a command and control server or a CNC server that attacker owns. So with that being said, like Israel has said, there is a patch, and Jack have said, there is a patch out for it. Definitely update all of your devices that have Chrome running on them. Get that new patch out there. And yeah, and I'll try and follow up on this next week. I'm going to be trying to getting back into this so that we have more vulnerability coverage, and I will try to get more than one vulnerability out in this so that we can kind of mirror the breach report a little bit more, and then I'll do some more in-depth reading after that as well.
You are college educated, scholarly type, so yes, you should do that.
Yeah, we'll have some fun with that. All right, we've got Adobe releases a second patch for data leakage flaw in Reader. So I'm going to just read this verbatim because this is funny. Adobe on Thursday released a second fix for the Reader vulnerability tracked as CVE 2019-7089 after the researcher who discovered the flaw managed to bypass the first patch. So this security hole identified by Alex Infruher, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering that. From Cure 53 allows a specifically crafted PDF document to send SMB requests that attackers server when the file is open. So PDF sending SMB requests, not a good thing. Very, 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 very bad.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Like a PDF is what?
Yeah. PDF not supposed to do that. If you any sort of SMB call being made on a network that is not supposed to be made, probably a bad thing.
It's a feature.
Yeah.
like macros. Yeah, it's a feature.
Like JavaScript being able to be run inside of Excel documents now.
Yes, like regedit being able to make external URL call. It's a feature. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, there is a patch out for this right now. So if you have Adobe Reader as well and don't want your PDF readers to be sending out malicious SMB calls, get that patched up on your guys' networks and get that.
And why, Caprico, would you not want your PDF readers making those SMB calls?
You ever heard of how passing the hash works?
Well, not even just passing the hash, but if you can make those SMB calls, you can do anything.
Yeah.
So you could download an executable from the internet. You could download a DLL from the internet that is then used to run arbitrary code.
Right. You can download a hollowed out exploit and just go totally unnoticed.
Exactly.
And all that fun jazz. It's a way to compromise a system.
Exploit. Yeah, but in that case, though, at least the exploit still touches the system prior to the hollowing.
Right. That is correct.
Yes.
So do patch where you can, and where you've got Adobe Reader going.
Yeah.
All right. Next
100%.
up.
And honestly, any of you guys who have Windows environments, if you don't already have a patch management system, a software management system, that is by far one of the best things you can do and get. I understand, fully get, run it in dev, run it in test for, 2-3 days. Make sure you set up your dev test environment in a responsible way, taking your production critical systems, throw those in there. You don't want to jack shit up, but you need to get these things out. You need to get these patches out there as soon as possible. I hope everybody who's listening gets that, understands it. You're security minded, but make sure you're getting these patches out. Okay, back to Cap.
All right. So yeah, that was a good wrap up of that one. Let me get back into. I had to answer a question for work because we never sleep. No,
dude, I hacked your Fitbit the other day. I totally saw you were sleeping for 4.5 hours.
A minute. Anyway, so last one that we've got for this week, Cisco. Okay, patch routers now against massive 9.8 out of 10 severity security hole. That is the worst written title that I have ever written. Basically, okay, Cisco tells businesses to install updates 6 months after researchers reported a critical security flaw. Why wasn't that the title? Your subtitle is better than your title, bro. All right. So Cisco is warning businesses that use its wireless VPN and firewall routers to install updates immediately due to a critical flaw that remote attackers can exploit to break into the network. The vulnerability allows any attacker with any browser to execute code of their choice via the web interface used for managing Cisco RV110W wireless-N VPN firewalls and the rest of the device and devices like that within the W range, the RV number W range of their devices.
Yeah.
So that is executing a web thing, and I am looking to see what kind of vulnerability is. Okay, the vulnerability is due to improper validation of user supplied data. So not sanitizing user inputs.
Exactly.
In the web-based management interface, an attacker could exploit the vulnerability by sending a malicious HTTP request to a targeted device. A successful exploit could allow the attacker to execute arbitrary code on the underlying operating system of the affected device as a high-privileged user. So what that all means, I send a request out to your web server that is running, or to your router that is running this web management tool, and I am root.
Yep.
Essentially.
I am Groot.
Simplified down. Now, whether that is sending a like what we saw in I think November or December of last year, where it's the same kind of thing where I covered the libSSH vulnerability, where you were literally sending just the I am authenticated packet out. If it's something to that nature, I do not know. I will have to look into that, but it's sounding very, very similar to that kind of exploit, where if I am crafting an HTTP request, I change a header to say, hey, I'm authorized to do this, and I send that request out to the web management platform. I am then authenticated as the root user or something like that, or there's a buff, or there's some sort of overflow or underflow vulnerability associated with this that I can then input my own shell code on top of it that the operating system will run. Like I said before in the Chrome thing, call out to a CNC server, command and control server, and just own the box from there and move laterally throughout the network there.
Yep.
So,
and just to add on to that, just to reinforce that is against the Soho, oh shit, what's Soho stand for? Something home office.
Small office,
home office.
Yeah, small office, home office.
These are the Soho systems. Enterprise-wise, I hope you are not seeing this. But yeah, you're going to be looking at, if you're a contractor, if, something like that, that's where the vast majority of these Soho systems are sitting.
Right. And to reiterate as well, the bug is fixed in versions 1.2.2.1 for the wireless TAC-N VPN firewalls.
And network guys, I know you haven't updated shit in the last 15 years.
But it works. It just
works. I know, but stuff needs to get updated.
But it just works.
Network guys, like system guys, they've been in Windows land for years. They're cool with doing updates to testing it and throw it out, after it's been validated. But network guys, oh my gosh, you just hate to update shit. Update your switches, update your routers, update your firewalls.
But do you know how many? Do you know how many we have deployed on our networks? It's so hard. It's so difficult.
I get it.
And everything breaks, and then guys jump down our throats, and then we got to reconfigure everything by hand.
But eventually, I'm going to come after you and fire you if you don't update your shit.
Okay.
It's amazing how many of them are just running Linux under the hood.
Wait. What IPC? Oh shit. Okay, I just sent him an invite. Never mind.
So here's the other thing too. If you can't figure out how to have automated and timed cron jobs to or something, some sort of automated patching thing to go out to all of your stuff. You look up. This is what I was. Granted, this was a class, but it was also taught by an adjunct professor who is a network administrator. He had us using Python scripting to make SSH calls out to different routers to say, hey, run this command real quick and then do this whole thing. So if granted, like Israel said before, test stuff out in a development and testing environment so that you know exactly to do, like where things might go wrong, do some debugging on your scripts and stuff like that.
If you're a CIO, if you're a CSO, make sure that your network guys have the same type of dev and test environment as your system guys.
Correct.
100%. And that doesn't, a part of it has to do with, like for like, getting your implementation streamlined. You don't want 20-year-old gear mixing in with, 2-year-old gear. Like, get your environment up to date. Like, this is your job. CISO, CSO. Like, get your shit up to date. You need to do this. And then make sure, because your system guys, I guarantee they have their test and dev environment. Like, run the crap through test, which your system guys do, and you've allowed them to do it. Make your network guys also do the exact same thing. And then the network guys will eventually become comfortable with releasing patches, releasing updates, releasing firmwares to prod. Network is always behind systems. Like, that needs to change.
It's amazing how many management or update tools for network gear mandate just absolutely require the use of static password. When
agreed.
So the doubt
but
precludes two-factor authentication as being a requirement.
Yeah. But even with that static password, I mean, we still have other options. We have the CyberArks and stuff like that, where also, you check out the passwords, or you manage it through CyberArk, or there's different means of being able to do that, where you still are going through a second layer to be able to get to it. So, and it's not just a straight static password that anybody knows. You can have a what's CyberArk called? A PSM, or you guys know CyberArk, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm very familiar with it.
Yes.
Never heard of it.
So, CyberArk, they're an Israeli company, but it's privileged access management, PAM solutions.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So you can still manage the passwords of network utilities and network gear, through these different PAM solutions. Like, do it.
Is that tied in directly with the network equipment itself, or is this?
No. It's separate.
Yeah,
it is separate, but
yeah, okay.
You can have the PAM solution also like rotate the password and stuff. So once a network admin like logs onto the device and whatnot, they're on doing their thing. They get off the device. The PAM solution changes the password, and so network engineer no longer knows the password. The password isn't cached. It isn't anything because it's been changed by the PAM solution. So I mean, there's
just okay. I guess one alternative I've never really. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and the PAM solution also is logging all this information. You have a paper trail of it. So yeah.
Right. I always wondered. At least for Cisco equipment, I've seen SNMP be usable for. For Cisco equipment, at least seen SNMP usable for uploading images. Never know why I've never seen any guides out there for it. In a home lab, it works just fine. You tell using SNMP the device to download you tell a piece of Cisco networking equipment to SSH to a target IP address and download a specific file and install it.
Yes.
It's not a very well documented feature, but
Yeah.
it works. And you can configure SNMP to only allow those specific OIDs to be accessible for a given set of credentials.
True.
Effectively limiting the credential, at least for updating, to only be able to update, at least the credentials to only have access to tell the device, SSH to this system, grab this binary blob, and install it. Which, granted, is not really thrilling from a security standpoint, but it's better than that, plus being able to directly turn ports on and off, rename things, reconfigure things.
Yeah.
To the very least, telling a device to install a binary blob is going to be... It's going to set off alarms somewhere that a device is at the very least rebooted.
Yeah.
It's very conspicuous.
Yes, it is. And
so, yeah.
Like, we haven't mentioned a PAM solution, I don't think, in probably 5 or 6 months.
Yeah,
but if, you do have a PAM solution, you can use that on Nessus, on Qualys. I mean, throw your freaking service accounts in there. Get all that crap that is consistently being used and leaving hashes all over the place. Get those hashes changed. Use some type of a PAM solution and update that crap. DAs. Like, I'm not a fan of any named DAs. Like, if you are in an environment, you should be a user. You should request DA access and then be granted DA access. And if you're automatically granted DA access, so be it. But there's a log trail of it.
Right.
Like, I haven't touched PAM in months. Be happy, because I'm a big fan of PAM. Privilege access management. You don't touch administrative anything unless you're going through. It's not on your user account. It's not known to you. You only get it whenever you're authorized to use it.
Which for the organization I left, that was a huge pain in the ass, which is why I had separate credentials for my named user and then, of course, my admin user.
But was your admin user, did you have to use PAM solution for the admin user?
No.
And see, that's an issue. So with the admin user, like, what did you touch? Did it leave? Like, whenever you touch a system, how long was it until the password was changed? Are those credentials still being read through memory?
Look in the chat.
Yeah, that can still be extracted.
No, it couldn't. I mean, you could have extracted it, but without the physical,
Correct. Yeah. I will be back in 1 minute. Carry on.
Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
Okay. So that covers all the vulnerabilities.
I can't sing like they can. What is that band? What is the band that does that song?
Journey?
Is it Journey? No, I don't think it's Journey, man.
Or is it Boston?
Boston sounds maybe. All right.
Or is it Chicago? Wait, is Chicago a band? No.
Yeah, I think
Chicago
is a band. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's one of those three. But yeah, that's all of them.
Whenever they play, see, I lost interest in the series a while back, but Supernatural, that was like the intro song on a lot of seasons.
Yeah. Cool. So that's all the vulnerabilities that we have. Links to all the articles that we source are in the description themselves. Do your own research, poke around, see if you can find that proof of concept code. I'm going to be doing that this weekend and try and see if I can do a follow-up on some of them, see if I can get the proof of concept code and do maybe a deep dive on one or two of them, depending on how long it might be next week. So who knows? Other than that, Adrian, I'm not sure if we have anything more in the show notes. I actually need to go and get some dinner.
So I looked it up. It's Kansas. Kansas is who does that song.
They all
Kansas.
sound the same to me. So
They also did Dust in the Wind. Who, if you watch the Highlander,
Yeah,
I love that. I love that TV show. But anyway, we should probably stop the cast since you have to go get dinner, and then we'll
I'm gonna
afterwards.
I will go through the further reading that we have on there since Israel is away. So for further reading, we have satellites are big, vulnerable IoT devices. Interesting. Cyberscoop did an article on that. Satellites, cybersecurity, Bill Malik and RSA. Apparently there was a talk on that. Ransomware as a service offering different membership levels. That sounds interesting. Let's take a look at that real quick, and I'll give a better summary of that in just a second here. Various membership plans offered by Jokeroo, or Joker OO, ransomware as a service. Jokeroo ransomware as a service, or RAS. Why are we acronyming ransom? Okay, whatever. Offers various membership plans through which would-be digital criminals can become affiliates. So if you get hacked, all right, let's become affiliates. You want to learn how we do this? Let's do that. That's kind of what this is. And the full article goes in depth on how to do that. And there's membership rates that have different payment levels. These packages range from $90 USD, where affiliate earns 85% of ransom payments, to $300 and $600 packages even. So take a look at that article. Sounds weird. I have not heard of ransomware as a service yet. And I saw this article I think it was this past weekend. A teen has made over $1 million or some currency via HackerOne. It is the first bug bounty millionaire. I definitely would check out this article. And this is also proving to be one of the more lucrative ways for penetration testers and security researchers to make money either on the side or do it as a full-time job. I believe this teen was doing it as a full-time job. To summarize the article, a self-taught teen hacker from Argentina has become the first bug bounty hacker to become a millionaire by hacking to create a safer internet.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised by this one.
Yeah. Imagine Katie Mo's. This is Katie Mo's nightmare.
It is.
Why is that not surprising? I mean, if you just think about it,
and because if you look at a lot of the HackerOne stuff, like the maximum that you can get is going to be, 10,000, 12,000.
Well, and the other thing too is that those add up. If you can,
exactly, and he found a way to exploit some of the highest paid per, campaign, and he just consistently was able to get it.
Right.
That's it. It's very impressive.
Oh, no question. But think about it.
Come down to just cross-site scripting, XML entity injection, kind of the basic stuff. But that stuff is also very, very dangerous. Like if I can create an XML payload or inject that via whatever means, that entity is basically running on that server, and I can then gain access to that box. So these are very high, most likely, and those top tier ones are going to be very high system compromising vulnerabilities that he is finding and then also validating. And
also, but in the same sense, I mean, if it's like a CSS, or a cross-site scripting, normally that's not going to be high on the dollar amount. Cross-site scripting with HackerOne, I mean, because I do HackerOne stuff, and HackerOne for cross-site, it's usually low. So I can guarantee, cross-site may be his favorite, but it's definitely not paying the amounts that he's bringing in.
Right. So, and honestly, might reach out to him this weekend and see if I can get some more ideas on it and bring that to the next cast and see how that goes.
I know Katie Mo.
Do a little interview or something.
Katie Mo, she's a vegetarian. Katie Mo, Katie Mo.
That is all from me at this point. I have to go get food. My stomach is about ready to eat itself.
And Liz, I want
Yes.
to congratulate you publicly.
Oh yeah, Liz got his OSCP, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Very, very good. Congratulations.
And I found out most likely why I failed the first time. I probably should have read the instructions a bit closer, and it was not intuitive.
That you jump to the very last question and just answer it and nothing else?
Exactly. Exactly. That and using MSF Venom to generate a interpreter payload. This is all public. Their gotcha. It's all public. I'm not giving any sensitive here. It's just not intuitive, but using MSF Venom to generate an interpreter payload. Even if you are not using anything other than the multi-handler to receive it, counts as your Metasploit use.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, that was not intuitive to me. I thought it was just use of Metasploit to exploit something, which was the gotcha. While it is, using an interpreter payload also counts.
My beef, you got some really cute lizard on lizard cuteness going on right now.
It's a lizard wearing a lizard hat. Wearing a lizard as a hat.
A lizard wearing a lizard hat, yes.
That's right.
All right, folks. We're going to cut this off, and we're going to leave this live stream going for people to talk for a bit. But thank you all very much for joining Irongeek Cast 109.
Nine.
So, catch you folks later.
Bye.